down 1,000 times. I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear.
Welcome to the show, guys. Got a super exciting one here today. Buckle up. We've got tons of excitement. We are talking 16 breakouts for fantasy football 2023, the final list. And guess who's on this show? We've got Gwen back. Welcome to the show, Gwen.
Thank you. I'm excited to be back after my whirlwind Europe trip.
And we've got Jimmy, the Wizard of, he's not the Wizard of Oz.
I'm not the wizard.
Jimmy Maverick here, and Tim, a.k.a. the Bald Man. Tim, what is going on?
Hi, everybody.
You sound like Connor there for a second. We got a special appearance from Connor today as well. Lots of excitement here on the show. We're talking big, we're talking bad, we're talking breakouts, and we are near the end of offseason, heading into the regular NFL season. I'm super hyped. Guys, how you been? I'll let you guys take the floor. How about Jim? We'll check in with Jim here first. Jim, how are you, man?
I'm good. I still have a bunch of drafts in front of me. I haven't even drafted. I got 4 drafts next week. That's my week next week. But feeling good about it. Feeling good about the drafts I've done, and feeling confident for next week as well.
Gwen, you are back. I know you're in Florida. There's been floods there. You came back. You were under the weather from your Euro trip. You had sheep for dinner. We'll get to Connor later. How have you been? It's been a while, but we want to let everybody know you're back. You're good. You didn't go away. What's going on, man? How was the trip?
Yeah, the trip was amazing. Yes, I came back and I was immediately sick. I had to go to the doctor. So if I cough a few times on this show, I apologize. But yes, the trip was great and I am safe. The Tampa did get pretty bad flooding with the hurricane, but I am safe and my apartment is fine. So I'm excited to be back. Just had a draft last night actually with my fantasy football guys. So that was pretty exciting.
What's the name of your team?
So I have Herbert as my quarterback. So nice. It is Herb Your Enthusiasm. I love the show Curb Your Enthusiasm. So that is the name of my team. So I'm excited.
All right. And Tim, not much going on with you. What's new with you, man? How are the ladies treating you?
How would you know what's up with me, Joe? The fact that we talk every day. Yeah, no, man, everything's good. I can't complain. You know, it's getting to be fall though. The weather up here.
Yeah. All right. Now I got to edit this now again, Tim. I don't
care.
At least you don't have a hurricane hitting you. So
yeah, that's true. We do not see those.
All right.
But you did have the fire, right? So
not near us. Not anywhere near us. Southern Ontario, we're all good. Nobody's touching us.
All right, I'm ready to dive into this, guys. We're talking breakouts. Before we do, grab the 16-round draft solution and the 16-round plus tool. 2 totally separate programs that are going to help you guys win. Link them below to smash your leagues. Use code SMASH for the 16-round draft solution. Everything you need to crush your leagues. Get it right now if you haven't drafted. I know a lot of people still have to draft this weekend. They wait last minute because they say, well, I want to avoid injury, this and that. And we're going to get to breakouts in a second, but there's already been some things going on. I heard Shanahan saying that CMC, Jim, I don't know if you heard this or anyone, that basically CMC may be limited. They're going to try to preserve him a little bit more this year. And then Cooper Kupp already dealing with hamstring issues that are lingering. So not looking good for Mr. Kupp.
Right. Yeah. And yeah, there's been a lot of people put on either PUP or injured reserve the past few days. So those people aren't playing for the first 4 weeks of the season, including Jonathan Taylor. So yeah, there's always stuff happening. And I got to say, in the 16 Rounds Plus app, we do track all this stuff. We do mark these things as soon as we hear about them, and we adjust their projections based on that as well. So that's immediately impacted on the app. So that's where you need to go.
Was it
find the latest information?
Tyquan Thornton, what's his name? The guy on the Pats. I don't have. He's out for 4 games. I think he's going on IR as well. I heard that today. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know.
Jeff Wilson also is going to miss the first 4 games in Miami.
Who cares about that guy? All right, so let's get right into it here. Let's start off with the first breakout here. We're going to go. We've all got 4 breakouts, big bad breakouts that we absolutely love. Some names you may not have heard us talk about regularly. And we're going to go in the order of Jim, Gwen, Tim, and myself in that order. And again, there might be a special appearance from Connor, a.k.a. the leader of the Consheeps, as he's got a bone to pick with Gwen. It's been a while. He was thinking that she was gone the whole time and she wasn't coming back, but you're back, and he's not happy today. So Gwen, you guys are probably going to go at it.
Oh, can't wait for that.
All right, Jim. Why don't we go with yours first? Who is your first big bad breakout? I'm excited to hear it.
Okay, so this is a guy I like where his draft position is right now, currently going in the 10th round of most fantasy drafts. And I just really like the situation. This guy plays on an offense which runs the ball more than any other team in the NFL. They brought in an elite, they drafted an elite RB1 on this team, and everyone thinks that this guy's going to go away. But I'm telling you what, he is in an offense that ran the ball 559 times last year. His name is Tyler Algier. He got 1,000 yards last year, but this year I think he's in line for about 180 touches and targets, which makes him a fantasy relevant weekly starter in your flex position. Wow. I can't stop taking him in the 10th round. I really like him.
Yeah, I'm going against you on this one because I'm all in on Bijan, aka Bijan, and I'm not drafting any handcuffs. I think he'll get some work. I just don't see a ceiling at all. I think he'll be a change of pace guy. I'm not that excited about him, but it seems like you like him.
I think there's more than enough opportunity for both. I mean, you can give Bijan 300 carries, and there's still 250 carries available, and I think Algier is going to take at least 150 of them, plus some work in the passing game. Like I said, it's a situation where he's going to get enough work that he's going to be fantasy relevant. So,
Tim, you're nodding your head like absolutely. A crazy person. No, I don't know whether there's something wrong with you or you're a mathematician. So what you crunch the numbers here? What do you think?
I totally agree. I mean, I know that Bijan is the future, but the future's not now. This is still going to be a decent year for Algier. I totally believe it as well. Like he's only going into his second year, so he's not garbage. He's not wasted already. Like he's going to get his fair share.
Yeah, I hope not.
But most of it's going to be Bijan. I mean, it is going to be Bijan's backfield, but he's going to get enough work to be relevant. So,
Gwen, what do you think? You were on.
I'm actually with you, Joe. I think his only value is if Bijan goes down. So,
there we go. This is where Connor should come in. He should come in and give the tie break. And yeah, that would be fun if we get him in. But he's not. He's still with his herd right now. He may show up soon enough. Stay tuned.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing to consider is that if anything does happen to Bijan, this guy is an RB1. And that is an upside that I like to have on my team. If I don't get Bijan in the first round, I would absolutely be targeting Algier in the 10th just to have that, just in case it happens.
I will have zero Algier stock. But again, this is what makes it so fun. We got that difference of opinions here. Anyways, we got a lot of players to get through. Let's get to the second player here. Gwen, this is your guy. You like him. You keep talking about him. Who is this person that you like is a big bad breakout this year with tons of upside?
Yeah, so my player is Zay Flowers. I think he's a guy that I'm grabbing in every league if I can. By the end of the year, I think he's going to be the number one receiver in Baltimore, who will have a very pass-happy offense with Todd Monken coming in as the offensive coordinator after leading Georgia to 2 national titles with their offense. So Mark Andrews is obviously Lamar's favorite target, but I don't think there's any reason why Flowers can't be the number 2 option. The Ravens spent a first-round pick on him, and he's looked awesome in the preseason. He's dangerous in the open space with the ball, and I think it's going to be great for Lamar to just dump it off to him and let him work. I think he's a huge boom player coming off the board in the 9th round.
Aren't you concerned that Lamar didn't finish the season last year and he's a run-first guy and they don't throw the ball a lot? That's my concern. The talent is there. I just don't know if the volume's going to be there. That's my concern.
Yeah, I mean, I understand your concern, but I still think he's a good option.
A lot of people like him. What do you think, Jim?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I've got no faith in Odell Beckham Jr. or Rashad Bateman to be able to stay healthy this season. So I really see Bateman as the number 1. And also, Mark, the tight end is dealing with health issues. He has been being held out of practices and such. So that's a whole nother question mark. I see a lot of upside with Flowers, and I actually just upgraded him as well in my app because I think he is a fantastic player to target in, let's see, where is he going? Where is Flowers going? Pick 88. So that's like 8th round. I love it.
Lamar's got to get it going. For this to happen, I totally believe Lamar has got to get his act together, and I'm just not sure he's going to do it. Like, he's got to stay durable. He's got to throw the ball a lot. He's not a guy that throws the ball a lot. And again, the same faith that people have in Fields this year. Again, Fields threw under 2,300 yards last year. Is he going to be enough to feed? Is there going to be enough there to feed a guy like DJ Moore? This is what makes fantasy so much fun, because there's so much uncertainty around it. So Zay Flowers for me is a pass. I just think there's other rookies that I like with more upside, but a lot of people like in Zay Flowers. I understand why. The talent is there. Tim, let's move on to yours. We got so many to get through. I'm excited. Breakouts. Tim, I don't know, man. I'm not breakout.
Yeah, is this a breakout?
So when Joe explained it to me, these were boomers. These were guys that were going to exceed their ADPs, not really breakouts. That's not the way he put it to me. So
come on, put it about
my guys are going to finish well above their ADP. That's what I got.
Tim is always in his own lane, always coming up with his own ideas. Always.
I like to spin it my way.
Anyways,
my guy, my man is Aaron Jones, who's currently going off as about the 40th overall. I mean, that's pretty high for a guy like this. A guy with this talent on this team, dude, it's there all day long.
You're going to hear it in the comments for sure. You're going to hear it in the comments.
Bring it, bitches.
What year are we in? Or was it 2018? Is it 20? Jim, what year are we in? Can someone check the clock? I think
all I know is Aaron Jones is 30 years old. 30
so he's
running
right
back.
Yeah.
And you're putting your faith, you're putting a 4th round pick onto your team who's 30 years old, has been declining as far as his running game goes. He is valuable in the passing game, but he lost his quarterback. I mean, really, what is his ceiling right now? I think it's way lower than where he's being drafted.
To me, that's the thing, though. With Love coming in, he's not going to be a great quarterback. He's going to look for the short passes. He's going to hand the ball off.
He could
Jones is going to get 1,000 yards, 400 receiving, 50 receptions. That's 190 points right there. Then give him his touchdowns on top of that. 240, 250 pointer this year.
There was talk. I just heard this. I don't know if you guys heard the rumor, but there was actual talk. And I was telling Jim this. There was rumors that the Packers were in the lottery to acquire Jonathan Taylor as part of the trade, and it fell through. That shows they don't have any faith, again, in A.J. Dillon or Aaron Jones, if you ask me. Like, why are you in the lottery for a guy? You've got two guys that are very capable. That's concerning. So is it that Aaron Jones is hiding an injury? Is there stuff we don't know?
Well, he's getting to that age, man. He's getting to the hump.
Apparently he's going to break out, Jim's.
I think he's over the hill, man. I would not draft him this year.
I drafted him last night, so I'm with you, Tim.
Split down the middle again down the middle. All right, we'll see who's right. Now I'm on Jim's team now. Oh man. All right. Again, we need Connor. This is what I mean. You guys keep complaining about Connor, yet he would come in here and he would divide and he would pick a side. If he has no
which side do you think he'd pick, counselor? Come on. He's totally going to pick the bad side. These other guys that don't know what they're talking about. Yeah. Come on.
All right, I'll go with mine since I'm sticking to the theme of breakouts here. And he had a mini breakout last year. And the guy is Garrett Wilson. I just think the ceiling is high. And again, he had a mini breakout, but I just think he's going to hit the moon, the sky this year. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers there, new team, new offense. These guys are going to gel. They looked amazing in preseason as advertised. He brought in some of his other bottom feeders like Lazard with them and Cobb. Not going to be factors. They're there as decoys. They're just there to decoy and make you think that they're going to throw to his old guys, but really it's going to go to Garrett Wilson. He's young, he's talented, and yes, I already talked about a bold prediction here. This guy will beat Justin Jefferson in fantasy points this year, and yes, injuries count. And I'm not saying Jefferson's getting hurt, but he's been perfect for so long. Something is bound to happen. Hoping he doesn't get injured, but Garrett Wilson, look out. Who's with me on the Garrett Wilson training? I know Jim is.
100%.
Not as much as you're hyping it right now. I mean, I thought Jim was the one drinking, not you.
Water. He's drinking water.
Yes.
I'm with Joe, and I think he's a stud. I think he's going to have a huge year. So I'm back on Joe's team.
I think he's the wide receiver one for sure. I still think he's going to have a great year, but I think Rodgers is still going to go to some of his old reliable guys. He's still going to go to a Lazard a fair bit.
Well, he can't throw 100% to Garrett Wilson, but Garrett Wilson, I think, can be a 30% target share player, which is ultra elite. That's Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill volume, and I think he's certainly going to be there this year.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think you're right. Volume will be there. Receptions will be there. What are the TDs going to be like? Because we all know, I mean, those add up fast. If you can't put in close to those double digits, you're not going to be a top dog.
All right, Jim, you're next guy here, and I just this is kind of like a boom bust pick. I see the ceiling, but will the accuracy be there? Anthony Richardson, what are your thoughts there? Big. I mean, there is breakout written all over this guy.
Yeah, I mean, he is an extraordinary athlete, very gifted. He's probably a little bit raw, but here's the thing: in fantasy football, quarterback rushing yards is a cheat code. You talk constantly about how bad Fields is because Fields only threw for 2,200 yards last year, but he was the QB6. Why was he the QB6? Because he ran for 1,000 yards and he got 10 touchdowns or something like that. And I see the same thing in store for Richardson, especially with all the issues with JT. That means they're going to lean on him even more on the running side of the game. And like I said, he doesn't need to be a great passer. He can be an average passer at best, and he's still going to be outstanding for fantasy football. And just the fact that you can get someone like him in, let's see here, where is he going? I got to find him here.
Oh, he's coming off earlier sometimes. Like I was doing.
No. 106, pick 106. So 8th or 9th round. If you can go the first 8 rounds and just load up on your running backs and wide receivers and get a tight end and then get Anthony Richardson, I think you're going to be in good shape. As your QB1.
Big time breakout potential there. Again, very risky. Quarterbacks, I heard, again, talking rumors here, that they were in sweepstakes for Waddle as part of a trade here. So, again, with all that trade talk, I don't think, and you're right, it doesn't look like Taylor's going anywhere. He ends up staying, and he's on PUP list, right? Like, it's crazy. He's kind of stuck in, like, this prison. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how well he does. I mean, he's got a cannon for an arm. It's going to be interesting.
And I love Pittman too. Pittman is an incredible bargain, as he's like the only receiver on this team. So
the fact that they were shopping Waddle so aggressively and trying to get him on that team, again, are they sold on Pittman and Pierce and their options right now? I don't know if I think he's a good 1B guy. He's not really a true alpha 1 wide receiver. I've never seen it from him, All right, next one here. We got Gwen back on the clock here with your next guy. Again, there's some upside with this guy, Brandin Aiyuk. What are your thoughts? Why do you like this guy so much?
Yeah, I think that Aiyuk is going to break out of Debo's shadow this year.
Wow.
San Francisco, they spent a first-round pick on him a couple of years ago, and I think he's finally coming into his own. Purdy's recovery is ahead of schedule, and I think he should be back to his form from the end of last year. And even if for some reason Purdy does go down again, I feel comfortable that Aiyuk's production wouldn't take too much of a hit now that Darnold is solidified as the backup. I don't think Debo is worth the pick in the 3rd round when Aiyuk is there in the 6th. And I think they have the same potential upside, but you can get Aiyuk at a 3rd round discount. So I like Aiyuk a lot.
I mean, years to wow me, and I'm not wowed. He had an okay year last year. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Any thoughts, Jim? Tim?
Yeah, I mean, again, he is there's 4 really good targets on this team. Aiyuk is probably the 3 or the 4. So he's not going to be very consistent, and he wasn't consistent last year. He was average in his consistency. And I see him going off in the 5th round, which for me is very, very pricey for a player like him. Yeah. So I'm not in on Aiyuk at all. I think he's a bad choice at that point in the draft.
Tim, thumbs up for Aiyuk, or just... I'm
kind of with you on this one, Joe. The years to wow me, I'm not wowed. This team is getting to be one of those teams that just has some good mouths to feed, So unless something happens to one of those really good mouths, a guy like Aiyuk's not going to stamp up. He is where he is. He's a middle feeder. Won't call him a bottom.
Kind of with Gwen in the fact that he could break out. There's a lot of buzz going that this could be his year. This is it. Like similar to Judy right now, who's battling injuries already. It's kind of like, crap or get off the pot type of year. And it's like, come on, let's make it happen. So yes, he's in a definite position to break out. I don't know, man. I just don't see a ceiling for him. That's all. All right, Timmy, your guy here again, not really breaking out. But Evan Engram.
No, so once again, I don't want to explain it again, but I'm going to. So to me, it's over their ADP, well over their ADP. So Evan Engram, tight end 8. So if you like to wait on the tight end, if you're not going to waste that 3rd round or earlier pick on a really good one, wait, grab Evan Engram in the 8th, 86th overall. Listen, it was almost a 3-way tie last year for receiving on that team with Christian Kirk and Zay Jones coming off in the early 8th. You can't go wrong. It's going to be there. So as a tight end, put him up there a little higher, man. Yeah, obviously you got your top dogs, but then I'm giving him top 5 finish.
Jim, you know what? You and I have been raving about Trevor Lawrence this year. We haven't really talked about Engram at all. We've looked at Ridley. We love Ridley. That's pretty obvious. But I don't know. There's something drawing me away from him. I just think that he's kind of expensive for me. And, I'm looking at, you know me, I like Sam Laporta. But what do you think of Engram, Jim? I know you're really high on Lawrence. So I wanted to pick your...
I just don't think he can grow his job. It's one of those things where now there's this additional elite asset on the team. Everyone else moves down a peg on the receiving targets, and Engram also never really did anything. But then all of a sudden last year, contract year, the guy goes out and has a great year. That's great for contract year players, but I don't like to rely on those players going forward because they tend to revert back to old habits very quickly. I can see a fade here, a regression, and because of that, I'm really not interested, despite the fact that he is at a pretty good ADP right now, going at pick number 90. So, but I think personally, I'd rather have Freiermuth at that position at around that same pick, because I think Freiermuth actually does have some upside for this year. So
that's a whole other debate. I was just talking to somebody with my coaching calls, and Freiermuth could be good, but again, too many options there. You got Najee, you got Pickens, who's going to demand the ball. You got Deontay. He's kind of like a 4 there as well. So that's why I like Laporta so much, because he's a plug and play number 2 target. Again, it's all about opportunity. Great talent. Evan Engram is known to have brick for hands too. In the past, he's dropped some balls, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm personally fading him. I got to get to my next guy here. I'm excited about this guy because he is my RB3 on my teams, and he's got RB1 potential. Love the upside, love the ceiling, love the heart, love the talent. The team not so good, but Dameon Pierce, love. Anybody want to chime in on Dameon Pierce? Because I think he's going to crush it this year.
No. Yeah, I think he's a great choice. And in a lot of drafts that I've done, I see he's typically going off in the 4th round, but I've seen a lot of drafts where he goes off in the 6th round. And I just cannot believe the value of getting someone like him in the 6th. Obviously you got to temper your expectations. I don't think Houston is going to win more than maybe about 5 games this year, but there's really nobody else. Singletary isn't any good. And so I think he's going to get the volume, and that's going to make him productive. So I'm in on Pierce. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him at his value as well.
Yep. Agree. We all agree.
Wow.
It's a miracle.
Wow, it's a first. All right, moving on. Hold on. I gotta put the lion. Hold on. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
We don't have any Deshaun Watson. You missed that. They go Deshaun Watson massage, Jim.
We got no Deshaun Watson related players on this list. So there you go.
So that sound effect is out today. All right, let's keep going here. Who's on the clock here? We got Jim.
It's me.
Jim, let's hear it, man. Who's your big bad breakout this year? And I disagree with you because he didn't wow me last year. Let's hear it.
Well, yeah. Okay. So yes, last year was not an impressive year. But this offense is the Kansas City Chiefs. It is Patrick Mahomes, and they got rid of their 2 top receivers from last year. They got rid of Juju Smith-Schuster, and they got rid of Mecole Hardman. And so now Skyy Moore is coming in, and really, I wasn't in on Skyy Moore at the beginning of training camp. I was not in at all, but he has had a fantastic training camp. He has been playing exclusively with the ones. And although I do like Rashee Rice has not. And they were even talking to the coaches today. They said Rashee Rice is going to be more of a package player. He's going to be in special packages. But Skyy Moore appears to be the guy that will be on the field every down. And just based on that, I'm like, you got to go for the upside of Patrick Mahomes' top wide receiver. And so because of that, I like him. I think he's a really good choice, and he's a bit of a bargain. So, what do you guys think? Am I crazy?
He was a round 2 pick. He did absolutely nothing last year. I mean, he had 22 receptions, 0 touchdowns, 250 yards. again, I don't know, man. It's so weird with that offense. It's like Kelsey or bust, really. So the way they spread the ball around, I just don't trust the situation. I'm drafting no Chiefs. I don't trust Reed. They don't like any fantasy relevant stuff. So I don't know. It's a no for me. And if anything, Rashi has a stash.
Yeah,
to me-
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Gwen.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of uncertainty with their wide receivers, and I like Rashee Rice more than him as the late round flyer, for sure.
And I personally just think KC is one of those teams where there's so many different mouths to feed. Nobody steps up except Kelsey. Everybody's just kind of on a level playing field, I think. So it could go any one way. I mean, if you're looking for value, I guess, sure, you can take him at a value, but I'm not expecting any kind of monster.
Yeah. I mean, right now he's going to pick 116, 10th round. Is that something that you would consider? Because he would be like your wide receiver 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And if he does something that's incredibly valuable, that's an incredibly valuable piece to have. So that's what I'm thinking. It's just, like I said, I was not in on him at the beginning of training camp, but all the reports I've been hearing are very positive about the chemistry he's developed with Mahomes. And I think he could do something this year. This could be the year.
All right, Gwen, you're on the clock here with your next pick here.
Yeah, so my pick is Dalton Kincaid. And Kincaid to me is really interesting. So I know he has a 10th round ADP, but in every draft that I've done so far, he's hung around till near the end. No one's really picking him as their tight end 1, which is pushing him down the boards. I see him more as a flex weapon that should be picked up around or maybe slightly above the 10th round ADP. There's a ton of weapons in Buffalo, but thankfully it is a high volume offense with Josh Allen pushing the ball down the field. Kincaid, he runs routes like a receiver, and I view him as just really a big receiver. And I think that's how Buffalo was going to deploy him most of the time. So I think he's primed for a big rookie season. So I like him.
Oh, look who's made the studio here, Gwen. It's your I like Kincaid, but they have Dawson Knox to compete with. But look, guess who's made the studio here? He wants to take the mic. He's back. He hasn't seen you for how long have you been gone? 3 weeks? But we got Connor back here. If we can get the camera working here. It's not working.
Why did you just do it again? You just pulled your hand out of his butt.
No, that's not true.
I think Connor broke the camera.
Hey, that's not true at all. And Gwen, I'm surprised you're back. I thought you were staying in wherever you were. You were in North Korea or wherever you were.
No, I was in Italy and Greece and the Netherlands and
Well, I heard it was
Malta.
North Korea, and I heard you weren't coming back. So riddle me this and riddle me that. And what's up with Jim and Tim here, the two baldies, half baldy and full baldy? We got the Three Stooges back in action. What's going on, everybody?
Hi, Connie.
Hey, Connor, I'd like to invite you to our barbecue this weekend for Labor Day. I think you would be the guest of honor if you came, man. We'd love to have you.
You could run around and play, feed on the grass. It'll be a great time.
Yeah, and then we can make s'mores and just shove them into the grill.
Well, that's not very nice at all. I'm not happy with any of your picks. I'm not happy with anything these days. No one's ever nice to me, and that's the bottom line. And you know what? I saw that video, Gwen. I saw the video. We're going to pull up the video in a moment here. Gwen actually sent me a video where she's having lamb chops for dinner. Can you explain the video here, Gwen? I'm going to pull it up here in a second.
Yeah, so while it was my last night of my trip, I was in Amsterdam at this really nice restaurant called A Fusion. And
pull up the video here as you're talking. So
yeah, and we ordered the lamb chops, and they came out and they blowtorched them at your table in front of you, and they were honestly the best lamb chops. Yeah, there's the video.
You guys see it there?
And you were just thinking, Connor.
No, I can't watch this. I can't watch this. This is terrible. What is going on over there?
That looks fantastic, Gwen.
Yeah, it was.
What a fabulous dinner.
It was the best lamb chops I've ever had in my life. So I sent Joe the video and I said, look, I ate Connor for dinner tonight on the last night of my trip. So I don't have to come home to him on this podcast.
You need to turn it off. Oh, he's biting my ankle here. Turn it off, everybody. Connor, we're going to turn it off here. You need to relax. He's actually having a little panic attack. He's got a brown bag here, and he's
hyperventilating. Or can we just put the brown bag over top of his head?
That was disgusting. I gotta go. All right, Connor.
Perfect.
You
Goodbye.
can relax here, and I'll be back. Don't you think this is over by any chance or any means? Goodbye.
I'll be
Goodbye.
back.
I will say that was one of the
Oh.
highlights of my trip. But I think a big highlight for me was on the cruise, the Mediterranean cruise I was on. The
Yeah.
singer at the dueling piano bar on the cruise ship was from my hometown in Pennsylvania. And there was also a group of a family, actually multiple families of Eagles fans on the cruise ship. And so they requested, so the one night I walked into the bar, they happened to be playing the Eagles fight song on the cruise ship in the middle of the Mediterranean Ocean. So I just wanted to say our fans are absolutely amazing because I went halfway around the world and I heard my fight song on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean.
Those Eagles definitely fly. Eagles fly to across over the seas. That's for sure.
Literally, our fans are everywhere. So that was really cool. Aside from eating the lamb chop.
Well, aside from that, we're going to get caught up more when you come back, and not all four of us are. We got to hear more about the trip. And
Yes.
Connor's hyperventilating in the back room now. He's lost it. He's traumatized. Probably never coming back on the show.
Amazing.
Yes.
I'm sure a lot of people in the comments will agree. And then we're on to the next pick here. Dalton Kincaid. I mean, there is some upside there. I like Laporte a bit better, but there is some ceiling there. Your next one, Tim, breakout show again.
Breakout.
Yeah,
with these
let's
new
hear
names, these players new to the league, we're excited about all of them, man.
This one's on Joe. This is bullshit. This is Joe's fault.
We did the washed up show a long time ago, so
Oh, and this one you guys will really love then. 'Cause this guy was poop last year. So
all right.
He's
So
been
why do
checked
you
out
like,
of the NFL for a few years, actually.
so why do I like Brandin Cooks? I mean, I don't like him, but he's 89th overall. This is an 8th round pick who was crap last year. Dak was crap last year. So there's a whole lot of crap last year coming together into this poop stew and coming out rosy.
Oh my god!
He's just a decent pick for where he's at. Like, that's all I'm saying.
He's a value play, and he slides in as the wide receiver too. I mean, Gallup is still there, but he kind of sucks.
Gallup sucks. Yeah, you were touting Gallup for years, and he sucks.
I thought he'd step up years ago, but not now. But again, someone had to step up. But if CeeDee Lamb gets hurt, there's a big bad breakout or a bounce back, I would say, here with Cooks. Jim, anyone want to dive in on?
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb isn't going to get hurt. He's going to have a record breaking. He's going to have a record season this year, a career season, contract year for the guy. He's playing for big money. He's not going to get hurt.
Hold on, Connor. Connor is screaming here. He's saying your guys are talking about cooking and lambs again, and it just all.
He's in the fetal position.
He's just like,
That is ironic that CeeDee Lamb, Brandin Cooks are on the same team. And anyways, there's some irony there. The universe is telling us something. Okay, so yeah, no Cooks for us. Let's move on to my next guy here. And we're not tanks. I mean, do you cook them in a tank? But we're talking tank Bigsby. Absolutely love the guy. And he was drafted in the 3rd round, looked great in preseason. News is coming out. Teams saying they're going to use him more. This is the end of ATN. He is ending at the same way that Connor is ending here. Love Bigsby this year. Love the value. I can get this guy in the 8th round as my RB4-5. All in on Bigsby. Anybody else in on Bigsby this year?
Yeah, I love Bigsby. I think he's a great choice. Pick 113 right now. Great option at that point in the draft. And I like to go maybe Bigsby in the 9th and then Algier in the 10th. That's a great pair of running backs to have on your team because they both offer significant upside should anything happen to the starter for sure. And Bigsby's had a great camp, so love what he's done during camp.
Absolutely. Anyone else want to chime in on Bigsby?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to be featured in their offense until late in the year. But if you don't have to worry about him starting, then I think it's a good depth pick for sure.
They're saying he's going to be an immediate impact, but I mean, sometimes you can't trust what the coaches say. And then ATN, one fumble away from losing his job. So yes, ATN's the guy for now. Stay tuned. This will be another Rashad Penny, Kenneth Walker situation from last year. Mark my words. All right, next guy here. We're going back up to Jim here. I love this guy. Big time breakout potential. I'm glad you added this to the list because he wasn't on my list for today's show. Jalin Hyatt. Jim, tell me why you love this guy.
this guy's having an absolutely fantastic killer camp. I mean, he has been outstanding. He's been outstanding in the preseason. And I just love the write-ups because they talk about the Giants and how deep their receiver core is, but it's deep with the crappiest wide receivers in the league. It's not going to take much to become the best receiver on this team. And I think Jalin Hyatt, he has exceeded expectations, and he's developed a nice rapport with Daniel Jones. I think he's going to be great. And he is so cheap on the draft board, man. Pick 185. That's a last round pick for most people. Last round. Get this guy on your team. And you know, we talked last week about how Tank Dell is like the number one owned player amongst all my teams that I've drafted so far. Yeah. But I got to say, I was looking at my teams. I got a ton of Jalin Hyatt. I was just picking him up like crazy during the course of these drafts. Didn't even think about it, but I just love what I'm hearing out of the New York Giants organization. And I think he's going to have a big year. I think he's going to do something, and he's going to be fantasy relevant this year. So I love that.
Yeah, they need somebody to step up. He's got to be the guy. Somebody's got to step up. He was a 3rd round pick, and they waited to get him. I remember people were like, why aren't you drafting a wide receiver round 1? Why aren't you drafting? And then he fell to the 3rd. So they're like, we got a bargain here. There is talk that he could be a one-trick pony. I think he's going to debunk that this year. Excited to see what they come up with. Speaking of breakouts and guys that need to step up that, didn't last year, 2nd-year player, your next guy here, Gwen, there is some excitement around him. And again, last year he was demanding the ball a lot, didn't get it. George Pickens.
Yeah. So, and I know I said this, I think, on another episode, but he is just the human highlight reel. He keeps making these incredible catches in the preseason and in camp. And he also showed he can make people miss in the open field too in the most recent preseason game, with Deontay handling the underneath stuff and a healthy Najee Harris keeping defenses. Honestly, I expect Pickens to break a bunch of coverages this year. I'm just really hoping that Kenny will make the jump in his 2nd year and bring Pickens along with him. So I expect a breakout season for Pickens. So yeah, I think he's a good pick.
So let's have a consensus. I never thought I'd say that. Can Sheeps' vote here? Okay, so Deontay was the one last year. He was allergic to the end zone. We've talked about this, but he still proved he was the one. Okay, so who's the one here? I'm leaning Deontay. So what? So
it's still Deontay. But I think Pickens is outstanding. He's going to see a nice increase in volume this year. And again, his highlight reel touchdown catches are going to be fantastic. I love the Steelers offense this year. I think they're going to be one of the most improved units in the league. I think Pickens has looked outstanding during the preseason. I'm sorry, not Pickens, Pickett. Pickett's looked outstanding during the preseason, the quarterback. And so I'm excited for what this team's going to do. I like him. I like Pickens. He's going about a round after Deontay. I wouldn't mind getting them both. I like them both.
Okay, but who out of the two, who ends up with more fantasy points? Let's have a vote. Deontay at the end of the season, all dust is settled, all in. I'm going Deontay ends with more fantasy points. What about you, Jim? Deontay?
Yeah, it's going to be Deontay. Yeah.
Tim?
Yep.
Deontay. Gwen, you're going Pickens, I think, right? Obviously.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Pickens.
Let's go with the young talent. And it could go either way. This could be that surprise where he just emerges as the guy. But
let's face it, though. The Steelers are still a crap offense this year. Like Jim said,
they're going to be good.
They're going to be much better.
They are going to be much better.
They were absolute crap last year. Their defense kept them in half the games they won.
Yes.
They were brutal.
I think you're going to see a significant improvement from this team. I'm very excited about what they can do. One of the best coach teams in the NFL. I think they're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
I'm a Tomlin believer. All right.
We're saving the best for last. I see the best.
Second to last.
This has actually been kind of funny because you look forward to Tim's breakout pick, and it's not a breakout.
It's almost like you did it on purpose, Tim.
You wait. He's going to break out
on the show. Just tell one of us the wrong thing to say.
This guy hasn't played in like 3 years. He's totally going to break out.
All right, the next
it's either breakout or breakdown, man.
It's Michael Thomas from the Saints.
Michael Thomas, who's that?
Yeah, who's that guy? Is he a
Yeah.
new player on the team?
He's set for a breakout year. I mean,
Well, okay, let's call it a
Good breakout,
comeback
right?
or something then.
hey, hold on a second. He's gonna break, but not the type of breakout we're thinking. So
Listen, he's going 97th to 100th overall. How can you not take a shot on Michael Thomas? This guy is still he can easily be in the top 10 wide receivers. Easily.
Tim
As long
loves
as
it.
Not gonna happen, man. Not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna have a debate here because Jim is all over Olave. Like he loves Olave. If Olave was there right now, they'd be going out on a date. He'd be taking him out with flowers and wine. He loves Olave so badly. And Tim is now on the Michael Thomas train. We got a problem here, guys.
Listen, this stud Michael Thomas only played 3 games last year and got 50 points.
So,
That's what I'm saying. Like, no matter what,
That's
as long
pretty
as he
mid.
Can play,
I mean, what, about 15 points a game? I mean, come on.
as long as he can play, he is gonna be good.
That's the key. That's
Him
the
and
key
Olave
word.
will be
That's the
neck
key word.
and neck.
As long as he can
Absolutely.
play.
But as a 10th rounder, 9th rounder, why wouldn't you take a shot on a guy that
there
used to be amazing
there is an
until he got
outside-
injured?
I've said this many times. There's an outside chance that Carr connects with them, he force feeds them, and he stays healthy, and he becomes a 1. But it's very unlikely. Very unlikely. But there would be something to see if he comes back as a 1.
I'll put the odds under 3% for that to happen, Counselor.
Damn.
Wow. Tim, what's the percentage here? What do you think? He
I
becomes
mean,
a 1.
I'm not going to be that brutal. I'm going to be like a 60-40, 40 that he can actually do it. Like I said, he's got Carr throwing
40
him
that
the
he could do
ball.
it?
40 that he can do it, yeah. Because I am concerned about the injuries. Obviously, you have to be. But as far as talent, man, if he stays on the field, him and Olave will be neck and neck.
He is over age 30, man. His best years are behind him. It's just like OBJ. It's just like DeAndre Hopkins, man. These guys are fading stars, and there's nothing but downside for these guys going forward. They've had their best years. They're not coming back.
Let's see what the audience thinks about Michael Thomas. Richard. Let's get kind of a temperature, what they're thinking here.
Oh,
All right. Okay. There's a little bit of excitement there. What do they think of Olave? What about? Let's hear that. Oh, hold on.
Oh no.
I think your first one was right.
All right. There's a difference here. There's more. Hold on. One more time for Jim's Olave.
A little more rambunctious, yeah.
All right, guys, settle down. And now again for Michael Thomas. One more consensus. Okay. Well, it seems like the audience.
They're over 30 as well. That's their weak clap.
There you have it. So, all right, my last pick here to wrap this up, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, and drop a comment below. Let us know what you guys think of these breakouts or whatever, old washed up players.
Boomers.
Quentin Johnston is my last guy. Love him. I believe he's going to be the one on the team. And the way I look at it, I've broken this down. I've thought about every scenario. Even if I'm thinking Michael Thomas, Mike Williams and Allen stay on the field and they're healthy all year, it doesn't mean Quentin's not going to be on the field. He was a first-round pick. He's going to eat. He's ultra-talented. I'm hearing from sources on the inside that he's the man. He looked good. He dropped the one ball, and I think it was week 1 or 2 of preseason, got the jitters out, got a touchdown immediately after, caught every ball pretty much after that. He is ready to go. And he was catching ball from that backup. What's his name, guy? Quick or whatever. What was that guy, their backup called, Jim? Do you remember his name?
I don't have his name.
Like
I'm sorry.
Quicker. I'll look it up anyway. But yeah, what do you guys think of him?
I love him. I'm grabbing him late in most leagues. I took him last night actually, because either Williams or Keenan will go down with an injury, and I think he's going to take all their production. So
yes,
so I took him last night.
Not wishing injury, but yes.
Hopefully they don't get injured, but I think one of them probably will.
They're Easton Stick. He was catching balls from Easton Stick, and he looked good. So if he's catching the ball from Easton Stick, Herbert's a big upgrade. I can't wait to see these guys connect. This is going to be a special connection. I'm telling you guys right now. I can't wait.
Well, like I said earlier, I'm a little bit more in on Flowers just because I think it's a tougher path for Quentin to become,
I disagree.
Wide receiver. There's already 2 established wide receivers, which I think are more talented than the other wide receivers on the Ravens team, so
what's the age of those 2 established receivers though?
Good point.
One is over age 30 and one is 29. So yes, there is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And not
I
to
like how
mention,
that works.
Herbert throws way more than Lamar. He was second in passing attempts last year with the dismantled wide receiver core. He's going to get a lot of volume over to Quentin. He's got a clear path, even though, and you think Keenan Allen's great talent. I don't know, man. No way.
I don't think
always
I
been
said
a
that, but yeah, I mean, he's a good player, but again, he's in his sunset years now. So he needs to mosey off to that retirement home.
Yeah, it's similar to Tim's,
relatively soon.
Similar to Tim's breakout picks. All right, guys. Make sure you guys smash a thumbs up, subscribe, and let us know what you guys think of the picks. Love to get your feedback. Anything you guys want to say to everybody? It's been an emotional episode with Connor. He's kind of really down today. Any last words to the listeners, everybody?
Hey, happy Labor Day, everybody. Enjoy the long weekend. Last weekend without NFL football. Man, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Gwen?
Yep.
Go Birds and Penn State this weekend.
And Tim?
Good luck in your drafts, everybody. Follow the 16 rounds.
All right. It sounded like Wayne's World or something like that.
Wayne's World. 16 rounds.
Party time, excellent.
Pretty soon he's gonna have some type of puppet with a voice.
I already do. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Can't show it on screen.
He's got a sock. He puts a sock over it.
Chili pepper style.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank
you, everybody.